So hi, I'm Jonathon Coe, one of the Board of Director members here at the Easton Historical Society Museum. And this weekend we have a grand reopening of our museum. We have got a featured item which you're looking at right now, which is the 1899 Morse Car. This car was invented and built by Alfred Morse. I don't know if you can get his picture down here, you probably have that. He was a genius, machinist, mechanic. The nice thing about this great car was donated to the Easton Historical Society a couple of years ago. And with our vision and goal of getting it in the museum as a permanent display, which took us a little while, but we knocked it out of the park, I think, and here it is on display. So we've got an 1899. This was the prototype, the very first that the Easton Machine Company made in Easton, by the way, in South Easton, right on Central Street. It's that beautiful brick building as soon as you get on Central from Washington on the right. They made about 50 cars over the years, and there are actually two left. One is in New Jersey, usually comes up for a wedding, maybe of the Morse family members. And this, you might call it the runabout, but we call it is a prototype. This was the very first. It's an air-cooled two-cylinder engine. The front is really interesting. We might call this a rumble seat. This is really they called it a mother-in-law seat. And kind of interesting, I'll tell you a story about that, but the headlights are not electrical. Electric headlights were coming out about that time, but these are gas lights. Kerosene, the wick. You could actually take it off and bring it, go into your house like that. So that's what these are for. They slip on or slip off. Really cool. But mother-in-law seat, I'll show you a little bit on the steering wheel. This is really interesting. This is the clutch. We got a clutch down here. We have brakes, the shifting gear. There's the steering wheel. We have a throttle on one side, and the other side is really, you might call today an advance and retard of the distributor. As you get going a little bit faster, you would adjust that. It's like adjusting your carburetor, your distributor. And really interesting and great innovation, a lot of this. So we actually had a tilt wheel back in the day. So for people that had a little trouble getting in there, and so you lifted it up, put it back down, bingo, ready to go. So just very, very interesting. In the back, again, it's a rear engine, two-cylinder, air-cooled engine. It had a little problem with overheating. So they actually put a couple fans in there and put a battery in later on. And actually the gas tank was under this seat. And if the engine is overheating a little bit, we might have a few problems. So they actually took the gas tank, kind of interesting, and put it under the mother-in-law seat. It's where it is today. So it's really, really an interesting car, but it's full of innovation. The Morse, Alfred Morse, the genius I call him, they made about 50 cars and a couple of beautiful cars. We show one here in our archives. It's basically what we still have today. It's white. And so many different patents that Mr. Morse had. The universal joint, which went on submarines. They had a splash oil system, which was patented. A number of innovations were fabulous. So this car is just a beautiful, beautiful piece, and we wish everybody to come down and take a look at the museum and see this great, great exhibit we have. And our exhibit doesn't end with a Morse car. We've refreshed all our exhibits throughout. We've got a new H.H. Richardson exhibit with old pictures, brand new pictures. We have a Simpson Spring exhibit. The Pool Instruments, a very interesting company. It was on Foundry Street down near Southeastern Regional in that area. That's where he manufactured very precise measuring instruments Back in the day, it was incredible. We actually have another exhibit here where the Clydesdales, the Ames Clydesdales, and they bred Clydesdales, and one of the Clydesdales was the actual grandfather of the Budweiser Clydesdale. So started in Easton again. Rankin Duck Farms, Clydesdales and Rankin Duck Farms is where Easton Country Club is today, and you will see all that in the exhibit. This is the industrial side of the museum, which is a fabulous side. There's so much history in Easton with the industries. On the other side, we have music, where a lot of the great Anna C. Ames band. We have some of the early Oliver Ames bands, and a Mr. King. And we have one of Fred King playing a sousaphone, which we actually have on the wall. It's a silver-plated sousaphone in there. Back in the middle of the 1800s, we have a beautiful big bass drum. And it's the Easton Brass Band, which lasted for about 20 years, or right around to and from the Civil War. So we've got an awful lot of great exhibits on the other side as well. And you might want to just stop in and take a look at our restrooms, our ladies and men's. We have fitted them with some period type of products that you might have seen back in the turn of the 20th century from the 19th. So interesting pieces in there you will definitely want to check out when you get here. So we wish everybody to come down and take a look. I know you've taken a lot of pictures here today of everything here, so I'm sure you'll see those dubbed in. But just a fabulous refresh of this beautiful 1882 H.H. Richardson Railroad Station. So please feel free to come down, and again, membership, please get a membership. Your donations do count to us. We rely on donations of all the artifacts here, and thank you to all the donors. So many products here that we have on display, and especially this beautiful car, and so many other things here. Okay, see you soon.